about running around to auditions. It's a bit of a numbers game. And there's a lot of gatekeepers that try to keep you out. And so it's very hard. There's an enormous amount of hard. And then there's this other part that's really good. The only reason I have hung with it is because I couldn't do anything else. So by process, there's many times I wanted to quit and have, and then, a month later, I'm sitting there like, I'm not qualified for anything else. During the strike, my girlfriend said, are we all just going to be working at Starbucks? And I said, we're not qualified. My last job was babysitting, so if sort of by process of elimination, if you just end up keep coming back to it. My husband's a musician, and anytime he's like, I don't know, I think I'm going to quit, I'm like, and do what? You're not good at anything else. I mean, you can okay cook, I mean, what are we going to do? People end up doing this artistic stuff. They have no other skills.
It's always what I wanted to do, but I never really went to school for it.
Yeah.
Something I've kind of done the past few years.
Yeah. And then you just keep doing it, and then, if you're still doing it 20 years later, I guess it was for me, which might be the same as any other career.
Would you say that given this technology today and everything is so available, as far as equipment, cameras and video work and computer programs, editing and video editing, you think it's a little easier for people to get at least their work out there in that sense versus 20 years ago, 10 years ago?
It seems like it. I know from my husband's business it's really changed because you can record your own CD and you can sell directly to the public. So it destroyed the record industry, which is probably good because they were really like the mafia. And so it has gotten a lot cheaper to make and do your own thing and put your stuff up on YouTube. I don't really know, because when I started we didn't have that, but we can certainly be a lot more creative because you have these, this lightning that strikes here and there with the Blair Witch Project or something. So it's like anything, you just have to kind of follow your bliss, and if it's really bliss, then really persist. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Hi. When you were talking about doing the prosthetic stuff on Star Trek, I remember when the character of Mary Ann first appeared on the scene, who played Ensign Rowe on Next Generation.
Yes.
What was it like working with Michelle Forbes? Because I just think she's such a great actress.
She's really great.
Yeah. Do you have any stories about her?
Well, I didn't get to know her too much until after the season. She had a ladies' lunch at her house, so she got everyone together that didn't have to get together, including the lady who does the set design. It was so amazing. And that was really great, and then I've seen her a few times since then. And I just really like her. She's kind of a New Yorker, so she's really straightforward, and she's just great. She's so talented. She's going to Vancouver now, moving to Vancouver to do a new series, a pilot that just got picked up. I think it's AMC. Yeah, and I think it's a really heavy acting role. So we'll get to see more of her. I'm just starting Battlestar Galactica on my iPad, so I can't wait to get to where she comes in.
When I was, when Mary Ann first came on the scene, it was one of those moments where, like, she looks familiar. She sounds like, I know her from Crossing Shore.
Oh, she was on that too?
Yeah, she was. She played one of the medical examiners.
Oh, wow.
And then it was like her hair was longer, so it was hard to face her, and then suddenly Ensign Rowe,
Yeah.
So it's really cool how they see characters with, and she was a Bajoran, so she said that nose bridge.
Just the little nose
that can
thing.
just change, it can just change the way you see people. So
Yeah,
cool
totally.
to make that connection.
It's funny because I did a couple episodes of Crossing Shore, and you never know you could cross paths with. I never knew she was on there, but then I did when I was with John Billingsley in Australia. And I was like, wait, which one were you on? It was Enterprise. I'm like, I think that's the one I did. And he goes, so what was your scene? And I described it, and he goes, yeah, I was in that scene. And I said, right, I was dying. You're the doctor. Oh my God.
actually read the books, so I don't know if Pam has a backstory, but have you ever constructed your own backstory for Pam, you know, like what you would want her origins to be?
I'm so lazy I haven't, or something. I don't know, or maybe I don't, like, I kind of read the lines and go with my first take on it, and then I think if I start constructing a backstory, it might not really be what the writers have in their head, and then I ask them, so what do you have in your head? And they never tell me. They always just joke with me. So I haven't read the books either, so I don't have I have a basic backstory from talking to the writers on the set. And I noticed that they changed Pam's last name this season. So it's not Ravenscroft. So I guess they're doing some other thing. I said, why did you change her last name? Is that because you have some other history in mind? And again, they just joke with me and pat me on the head and send me on my way. So I have now in my mind a little, you know, I do here and there, my imagination goes off and I have little scenes that start building themselves. Because of the hooker line this year, you know, that was a long, long time ago. So all of a sudden I started picturing turn of the century, because now I know she's 100, and I pictured those great costumes that I could wear in the 1900s, and some seedy alley, and Eric, and so I've got a whole thing going that will probably never happen. Yeah.
When you get to Michelle Forbes in Galacticus, the Monaco sucks.
Really?
It's unbelievable. But can you tell us about, you talking about your painting at the beginning of the talk. Tell us a little bit about that, like what sort of things are you painting, and would you ever consider doing a convention, and then also as an artist in display, or at prints?
Yeah, I would. The only reason I haven't done shows is because I honestly don't have that much time to paint anymore. Like acting sort of took over. So I started with, you know, when I was finishing high school. My brother and sister went to big deal colleges, and my parents are looking at me, and I'm sort of feeling like I'm kind of over school. And but that's not really an option for my parents' mind. So I ended up going to art school because the process of elimination, I thought, well, that's palatable to me. If I can just go draw for 4 years. So that's basically what I did. I moved around to a bunch of schools. And then after school, I discovered painting and just love that. And I mainly paint portraits of people. I do dogs too. Through my animal rescue stuff that started. And so, you know, when you do a portrait, I would do it for friends and family, just you give them away. So you don't ever accumulate a body of work that you could show to a gallery. So I started this last year painting other things for myself. And this hiatus, I told myself I was going to do a few things for me. And it just got too busy. So I wanted to write more, working on a book. It didn't really happen. And I wanted to paint more. It didn't really happen. I was so sure I was going to go to the gym a lot. It didn't happen. Till last week after my wardrobe fitting, I got very motivated. But, yeah. But I would love to, because I do sort of old classic style oil painting. So it's very realistic. And I'm doing a series of flowers, and I'm always doing, you know, environmental animal stuff. So I'd love to combine the two and do a show. So I just have to somehow figure out the time, the hours to get to paint, to finish enough pieces. They're big and they're tiny.
Are you planning on putting your paintings out in galleries soon, like in the future? Like,
yeah,